President Biden should not run again in 2024. That was the headline of an opinion piece by my Washington Post colleague David Ignatius this week. My quarrel isn't so much with him as it is with the people who provided the foundation for his argument. He told NPR's Steve Inskeep that he felt, quote, "It was time to surface publicly the thing that I find almost every Democrat is talking about privately, and that is whether President Biden will be too old during the time of a second term to be an effective president." Ah, Democrats, a brooding clan where the glass is always half empty because the other half is needed for bedwetting. They're never satisfied, always looking for someone to be president, even when one of their own is sitting right there in the Oval Office right now. Yes, President Biden is 80 years old. An 80-year-old presiding over an economy where wages are up, unemployment is at record lows, and job creation has climbed past a record 13.5 million jobs since his inauguration in January 2021. An 80-year-old who leads an international alliance against Russia in its war on Ukraine. An 80-year-old whose leadership reassures a world that worries about America if he isn't reelected. But leave it to Democrats and gleeful Republicans willing to exacerbate their latent anxiety to want to ditch a successful team because he's old. President Ronald Reagan was old. He was 73 at his second inauguration in 1985, then the oldest president to take the oath of office. There were comments about his age, but did Republicans clamor for him to stand down? Of course not. They had their eyes on the prize. They had taxes to cut, military power to project, and conservative judges to appoint, including 2 Supreme Court justices and a new Chief Justice in Reagan's second term. Not only do Democrats calling for Biden to drop out not have their eyes on the prize, they seem to have forgotten what the prize actually is: the White House and the power that comes with it. From the rule of law to American democracy itself, too much is at stake for President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris to cede the field to the twice impeached, 4 times indicted on 91 counts, out on bail or bond in 4 jurisdictions, former president and frontrunner for the Republican nomination. Biden and Harris are in the jobs now. Calling on them to abandon a re-election campaign they've already begun in earnest is beyond foolish. But what's even more troubling than the dump old Joe wave is the ferocious kick Kamala to the curb undertow.